Atlantis Alive, focusing on tracking
On Atlantis
education.
Alive. Today we're so honored to have a very special guest in our midst. We have Anwar Jakoet of the Anwar Jakoet Foundation. Welcome to our show.
Well, thanks for having me. I had a bit of depredation, to say, coming onto the show initially.
Yes.
But obviously, having chatted to you and what you do,
Yes.
I think that it's maybe a good thing that I did come on.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you know, the problem with most of the shows and the radio shows
Yes.
is that when we go live,
Yes.
unfortunately, I'm not selling something.
Yes.
All right, people come back to me, and there are more people wanting goods from us
Okay.
than giving us.
Giving you
So it is always an issue when I do go on to
interviews and stuff.
interviews in the show. You know, it's a double-edged sword.
Yes, yes. Tell me about the Anwar Jakoet Foundation that was inspired at Harold Cressy in 1979.
Look,
What was that all about?
okay.
How did that come about?
It wasn't inspired by
Okay.
in 1979.
No.
What it comes across as is the class of 1979.
Class of 1979.
We matriculated.
Yes.
But it's about 18 of us, we've actually stayed very close. When they heard I was doing something of this nature,
Yes.
they all wanted to come on board.
Okay.
And they supported me.
Yeah.
That is where the class of 79 comes in. Quite a bit of them have immigrated, and most of them are staying either in Canada or US or whatever the case may be. They've come on board as well, you know, to assist in what we are doing.
Yes.
So that is where the class of 79 comes in.
Oh, wonderful. That sounds very interesting. And I mean, it's a couple of years later and you still have this. So
Yeah.
you have, in your organization, you have like 3 mission statements.
Yeah.
It's the food distribution, and then it's the excellence, sports excellence, and the EDC. Now,
Yeah.
let's start off with the food distribution.
Okay, the food was never a priority, to be
Okay.
honest with you. I'm a former teacher.
Yes.
Education was always, you know, the first and foremost part for the AJF, the Anwar Jakoet Foundation. Secondly on the list was sport, because I did relatively well in sport back,
Yes.
you know, in the day, and my love for sport
Yes.
obviously would come through in the foundation. But with COVID coming on board,
Yeah.
the food provision, you know, took center stage. Everybody needed food,
Yes.
all right? And that is where the food provision part came in.
Okay. And the education,
Education,
as in your mission statement.
I'm a former teacher, so I recruited 2 retired principals, very close friends of mine,
Okay.
and they work closely within the education sector.
Yes, yes.
Although I went into the education side of things, and I looked at the becoming a sports master. At the time, it didn't materialize. I actually qualified in English and history.
Yes.
But my love for children meant I didn't want to teach at high school. I actually went to teach at a primary school, where
Okay.
you become a general, you teach everything.
Yes.
And I started getting more involved in sport. I became the sports master there as well.
So that takes us now to the sports excellence in your mission. What is
Yes.
it you guys do for the community?
For the community, you know, initially we were speaking about sports excellence per se. But as a foundation, we're forever learning.
Yes.
All right? So when we went out to the communities, we slightly moved away from just sports excellence.
Okay.
We created things like sports fun days. When we go out to the communities, we take along sports equipment, all right, which they can keep.
Oh, wow.
All right. In that, we did a partnership with a company, or an organization called Unchain the Plane. Right? And they come along and they donate quite a bit of the sports equipment. And we have a fun day with the kids, and we have coaches that goes along.
Yes.
They also identify some talent when they're there. One of the coaches, and he's part of AJF, is a guy by the name of Tariq Richard Britton.
Yes.
All right. Tariq was an orphan, but he went through life disciplined.
Yes.
He became a Western Province rugby player, a Saru rugby player, a Springbok Sevens rugby
Well, I
player.
can imagine how
Yes.
you are in awe of this particular person.
So he comes along. He's then
Yes.
also our motivational speaker.
Yes?
And he coaches rugby. I come from a soccer background. I would assist with the soccer. I also come from an athletics background.
Yes.
We coach athletics.
Athletics, yes.
Right? So when it comes to sports excellence, initially, I'm a very competitive person. We were looking at excellence only.
Oh, wow.
But we had to change.
How come?
You come onto the field. Not everybody has the
Yes.
talent
Or has the experience.
or has the experience or has
Yes.
talent. So we have to cater for them as well.
Yes.
So we moved initially, it was sports excellence, taking people to the top. But the foundation has shifted a lot of its focus to participation. Right? Just seeing that smile on those youngsters' faces
Makes a
Right.
big difference.
makes a
yeah.
big difference. So yes, our mission statement says excellence. We will assist those as well who have the talent to promote it to another level.
So as far as that is concerned till this far, have
Yeah.
you had kids that came up to that level of the excellence that you're talking about?
No,
Not yet?
Not yet. Remember, the Anwar Jakoet Foundation
How
this
long
month
is- yeah.
is only a year old.
Oh, okay.
Right. And again, with COVID, lots of the sports facilities were closed.
Yes, yes, of course.
It's only opening now.
Yes,
And I go back to what you initially said. One of it is food.
yes.
Initially, we had to concentrate on food because that was needed.
yeah.
We're now able to move to the sports. All right. Even education facilities were closed. ECD centers were closed.
Yes,
All right. We could only move into that when we came to lockdown level 3, 2.
yeah.
All right. Previously, we had to supply masks, sanitizer, and food.
All of
that
those
was
cost money too.
it. Cost money. All
Yes.
right. And 90% of our budget went to that.
Yeah,
It's now changed around. We've
Yes.
gone now to 10 to 15% of our budget for food.
yes.
The balance goes into sports and into education.
Yeah. You also have around about, say, 6 programs that you also initiate. 2 of them I can remember is your volunteer food classes and then the equipment.
Okay, when we say classes, it's not
Yes.
per se classes.
Yes.
What we do is we have partners
Yeah.
that cook.
Okay.
Remember, we work with the most impoverished areas.
Yes.
Right? Some of our partners come from impoverished
And
areas.
those areas are like where are they situated?
Look, we started off in the Western Cape, obviously. It's Manenberg, Heiderveld, Mitchell's Plain. Places like I didn't know existed. It's called the Hachi and all these little informal settlements.
Yes.
Then we looked at the broader picture. We looked at the Western Cape, not only Cape Town.
Yes.
And we
That's big.
started going into those areas and
Yeah.
doing a recce. Right?
Yeah.
And we said, no, but they needed more.
Yes.
And we're talking
It's
about
more where the needy are.
Toast River, Klapmuts,
Yes.
Franschhoek. Now everybody
Oh,
says,
you
well,
just came from Franschhoek now, I
Yes,
mean,
we-
for this interview.
we just arrived from Franschhoek. But
Yes.
now people say, well, why Franschhoek? It's a rich area.
no, they haven't seen the other part
They
of
haven't seen
Franschhoek.
the other part, the people
Yes.
that work on the farms.
Yes.
The farmers, they're seasonal workers. So they just leave them there. Okay, they have their little, I wouldn't call it the house, right,
Yes.
on the farm.
Yeah.
But they have to fend for themselves,
Yeah.
all right, for 8 months of the year.
Yes.
And people forget about them. So we call them the sort of the forgotten people. Right? And this is why we go out more on outreach programs now. Now we're going back to the food scenario. We get certain amount of ingredients.
Yes.
We buy in a certain amount of ingredients.
Yeah.
AJF works on a partnership sort of scenario as well. I work on a system, we call it quid pro quo. The one hand washes the other. We look at barter systems.
Okay.
We create partners in the different towns. Those partners must assist each other.
Okay.
Right.
So you basically, merely you're a conduit.
We're
You're a conduit and then
Yeah.
you put these people together.
Yeah.
That's where I'm gathering.
Now going back to the cooking class, so we go
yeah.
back again there. What we do is we've got ladies,
Yes.
not professional cooks and chefs, that have been cooking for the
Passionate
communities
about- yes.
for 10 years.
Yes.
Okay, we take them with us
Okay.
on these outreach programs.
Yeah.
They speak to the soup kitchens in those areas, and we say to them, this is how you can stretch your meals. If you're
Sort of
getting something
guiding them
rice,
as to-
yeah,
yes.
this is, you just add, instead of you don't have sugar, add jam to it.
Oh.
So when we talk about cooking classes,
Yeah.
it's very informal.
Yes.
It's not in the studio.
No, it's not like you following
No,
now your
no,
recipe, etc., etc., etc.
Because a recipe, you need all the ingredients. Those people might have 5 of the 10 needed to make that pot of food. It's how do they stretch that? How do they make that food nutritious?
Yes, yes.
And that is when we talk about cooking. We take the old hands along.
Yeah.
They know how to make a pot of food out of almost nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And unfortunately, most of the people in those impoverished areas have nothing.
Oh, well. We are going to finish our first segment with you
Yes.
and then come back and continue. Thank you very much for
That's fine.
watching.